Good morning. Factorization type 2. That means factorization of a quadratic expression in which the middle term is negative, which is known as type 2. Okay. So before going to the factorization, let us expand the question given on the board. Okay. Do you know how to expand it? Like x squared plus x into minus 3 as minus 3x minus 2 into x as minus 2x minus 2 into minus 3 as plus 6, minus into minus plus 6. We get it as x squared. So minus 3x minus 2x is minus 5x plus 6. So after expansion we got a quadratic expression. So two binomials multiplied to get the quadratic expression. Now in our new topic, this quadratic expression will be given. You have to get this binomial, that is known as factorization. You see what is happening? If just you think in reverse order, suppose this is your step number 1. You want to factorize it. So what is happening to step number 2? You just see what is happening here. Minus 5x is splitted as minus 3x minus 2x, isn't it? So this type of splitting we are going to do in factorization of type 2. So let's deal a question. Factorize x squared minus 7x plus 10. So in the previous class we discussed about factorization of a quadratic expression in which all the terms are positive. Now we are going to the type 2 factorization with the middle term is negative and the last term is positive. So here a few more things we need to remember. Of course we are going to split the middle term. Okay, and whenever you split the middle term, let's check the last term. Last term is 10x, which is positive. And you know last term is formed by the product, that is plus 10 is formed by the product of two numbers. Let's think about the sign of the number plus. The product is positive. What do you mean by product of two numbers is positive? So product of two numbers is positive only when both the numbers are positive or both the numbers are negative, because you know plus into plus is plus or minus into minus is plus. Okay, that means in this case based on the last term we have to decide the sign. So as the last term is positive 10, you can understand both the numbers, that splitting numbers have the same sign. That means both are plus or both are minus. Okay, so this is the first thing we have to understand. So let's take plus 10. We want plus 10. If we want plus 10, we can take 10 into 1 is 10. But 10 plus 1 is 11, not 7. So it can be 10 into 1 or minus 10 into minus 1. If only 1 is negative, we'll get negative answer. Because you have to remember plus into plus is plus, minus into minus is also plus, plus into minus is minus. So So if the signs are different, you get a negative answer. That means both should be same sign, as we have plus 10 as the last term. Okay. So another option for plus 10 is 5 into 2 or minus 5 into minus 2. So when you take 5 into 2, it is 10, and 5 plus 2 is 7. As we want minus 7, we can take it as minus 5 into minus 2. So which are the numbers for minus 7? As minus 5, minus 2. So it can be written as x squared minus 7x can be written as minus 5x minus 2x plus 10. So see what's the difference between the previous method and this one. In previous method, both were positives because the middle term was positive, and both were positive or both were negative were depending upon the last term. So these are all things to be taken together to get the answer. Okay, so now similar like our previous method, take the first two terms as a group, take a common term from the group. What is the common term? Yes, x is the common term, in which if you take x as common, remaining we have x minus 5. So here also we want x minus 5 as in bracket. So as the bracket here is x minus 5, here also it must be x minus 5. So based on that, you have to take the common term outside. And I shown you a simple trick for the common term. What do you find here? That to be written here. Now just multiply inside and see. Minus 2 into x is minus 2x. Minus 2 into minus 5 is minus into minus plus 10. It's clear now. And see, this method, this shortcut and all is possible when the coefficient of x square is 1. When the coefficient of x square is 1, this is very simple. When it is more than 1 or less than 1, it goes in different way. Okay, if the coefficient of x squared is 1, we call it as a monic expression. Okay, monic expression, M-O-N-I-C. Now you can find x minus 5, x minus 5. So x minus 5 is a common term. Rest we have x minus 2. So we factorized x squared minus 7x plus 10 as x minus 5 into x minus 2. Okay. Next question is factorize x squared minus 15x plus 56. X squared minus 15x plus 56. So here the middle term is, what is the middle term? Minus 15x. And the last term is plus 56. Actually, when we take the last term, there are some concepts like these two should be multiplied and that to be considered as the last term, as the product. That means sum is the middle term. What is the sum? Sum should be the middle term, and the product should be the multiplication of 56 and x squared. Like the different concepts are there. As it is a basic factorization class, let's avoid all those things, and when we go on with more classes about factorization, there we introduce all those things. Okay, now just we'll think about the last term and the middle term. Okay, and you know, this middle term should be the sum and the last term should be the product. And you know, when we have the product, check the sign. Always check the sign of the product. Based on the sign of the product, we decide this is addition or subtraction. Now at present we write middle term as sum. Okay, but based on the sign of the product, we have to choose whether it has sum or difference, because if the product is plus, if the product has a sign of plus, you know that is formed by either plus into plus or minus into minus, isn't it? Plus into plus is plus, minus into minus is also plus. Now you see, in both the cases we are multiplying same sign. And what is the rule of addition? To check this one, rule of addition is if two numbers have the same sign, then they can be added. So when do we add the numbers? We add the numbers when the numbers have the same sign, like plus 2 plus 3. They can be added and get the answer as 5. Minus 5 minus 3, minus 5 plus minus 3. Here both the numbers have the same sign, so add the numbers with the sign minus. So when do we add the numbers? It's very clear. When two or more numbers have the same sign, then they can be added. But sometimes the product will be negative. If the product is negative, when the product is negative, yeah, only when if you multiply two different signs, if you multiply plus into minus, we get the result as minus. So in such cases, if we are dealing with two different signs, if we are dealing with a question of plus and minus, I'm talking about this product is negative. In such cases, we cannot do addition because it does not deal with the addition rule. As per addition rule, both the sign must be same. Here both the signs are different. In such cases, instead of addition, we have to do subtraction. Like, you know, if it is plus 3 plus minus 2, if we get a question like this, what we do? It is 3 minus 2, that is equal to 1. So instead of addition, we have to perform subtraction. Okay, anyway, in coming problems we will discuss all those things. I discussed all these things to say about the importance of the sign of product. So when we go for factorization, we have to check the last term, what is the sign of that. Based on that, we have to decide. Okay, let's check this question. So here the sum is minus 15x and the product should be 56. Actually it should be 56x squared. 56x squared. The product should be actually 56x squared. Let's think about 56. Okay, numeral. So which are the two numbers can be used here? For that, if you have any doubt, just go with prime factorization. 228s. Anyway, they are not the numbers. 214. Are they? No, because this is 2 into 2, 4. 14 plus 4 is 18. We want 15. So let's take one more. Now when we check here, 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And here it is 7. 8 plus 7 is 15. 8 into 7 is 56. So our numbers are 8 and 7. Okay. So we can write the sum as minus 8 plus minus 7. Or minus 8 minus 7 directly we can write here. And the product is minus 8 into minus 7. Okay. So our question becomes x square minus 15x plus 56 become x squared. We can split middle term minus 15x as minus 8x minus 7x plus 56, which is equal to x is common. As x minus 8 is in bracket, here also we must have x minus 8 in bracket. So the connecting number should be, the common term from this one should be minus 7. Just multiply and verify whether it is right. Minus 7 into x is minus 7x. Minus 7 into minus 8. Minus into minus plus 7 8 is 56. It's correct. So we get the result as x minus 8 into x minus 7. Okay. Okay, let's check this question now. Factorize x squared plus 3x minus 10. See here, which term is negative? Yes, the last term is negative. Okay, so let's write the sum and the product. So the middle term is plus 3x and the last term is minus 10, actually minus 10 x squared. Okay, and you know last term is the product and middle term is the sum or difference. Okay, and you see the last term is the product. And what is the sign of the last term? Sign of the last term is negative in this question. So when the sign of the last term is negative, yes, when one number is positive and the other number is negative, then the product should be negative. Because this negative, how do you get this negative? By plus into minus or minus into plus. The product of a positive number and negative number. That's why this negative is here. That means our one number is positive and the other number is negative. Because we have to assume two numbers. In that one number should be positive and the second sum number should be negative. That means two different signs. If the signs are different, can we add the numbers? No. So there what we do? We have to subtract. So here it comes, instead of sum, it becomes difference. Why it is difference? Because the product is negative. If the product is negative, in our two numbers, one should be a positive number and the other should be a negative number, like plus 6 and minus 4. Just I am taking two examples. If you take 6 and minus 4, their product should be 6 into minus 4, minus 24. That means product is negative. And if you add them, we get 6 plus minus 4, that is 6 minus 4 is 2. That is positive. Sum is positive and the product is negative. Okay, let's take two numbers for that. As this is a very simple question, we can write this answer directly because 10 is formed only with two cases, which are 10 into 1 and 5 into 2. Okay, so 5 into 2 is possible here because 5 minus 2 is 3. 5 minus 2 is 3 because 10 minus 1 is 9. So it is not possible. So possible numbers are 5 and minus 2. So we got the numbers now. 5 and 2 are the terms. So our numbers are 5 and 2. Now the next question is, which is negative in this? Is 5 or 2? Which is the negative number? Because one should be negative. As the product is negative, any one should be negative here. Which should be the negative number? For that, see the middle term. Middle term is plus. Middle term is plus. That means we want the middle term as positive. If you want the middle term as positive, the bigger number should be positive. If you want middle term positive, the bigger number should be positive. That means the smaller is negative. So we can write this plus 3x as plus 5x minus 2x plus 5x minus 2x is 3x. Okay, now let us do the splitting method. So it is x squared plus 3x can be written as 5x minus 2x minus 10, which is equal to, now the same usual type of grouping. X is common, so we get x plus 5. Now the next group also should have x plus 5. That means what should be taken as common? So no worry, take this minus 2. Now multiply and verify whether it is correct. Minus 2 into x is minus 2x. Minus 2 into 5 is minus 10. So we get x plus 5 is still common. X minus 2 as result. Let's do one more question. Factorize x squared minus 3x minus 28. My God, here middle term and the last term both are negatives. So no worries, take the middle term. Your middle term is minus 3x. That should be the sum or difference. And the last term is minus 28. That should be the product. And when you check the last term, it is negative. Last term is negative. What do you mean by last term is negative? Again, I am asking, last term is negative. Means one should be plus and the other should be negative. One number should be positive and the other number should be negative. That means positive and negative, two different signs. That means this is not sum, it should be difference. So which are the numbers possible here? So to get 28, we have the possibilities like 28, 1, then 14 2s, 7 4s. These are the possibilities for 28. Now in this, one should be positive and the other should be negative. That means we have to do the subtraction. If we subtract 28 and 1, we get 27. We want 3. If we subtract 14 and 2, we get 12. But if we subtract 7 and 4, we get 3. That means our numbers are, numerals are 7 and 4. Because 7 into 4 is 28, 7 minus 4 is 3. Now our next topic is which number should be negative. For that, let's see the middle term. Middle term is negative. Middle term is negative. That means the sum is negative. That means biggest number is negative. If it is positive, bigger number should be positive. If it is negative, biggest number should be negative. So it will be minus 7 plus 4, and this is minus 7 into 4. So let's see the factorization. X squared. So minus 3x can be written as minus 7x plus 4x, and the remaining term is minus 28. Take first two terms. The common term is x. So we get x minus 7 in bracket. That means next bracket also should be x minus 7. Okay. That means what should be the number here? Yes, take this plus 4. Now verify. Plus 4 into x is 4x, plus 4 into minus 7 is minus 28. So we get the result as x minus 7 into x plus 4. Okay, thank you.